Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay, let me see who's here. Okay, who was here first? Mary H., thank you so much for that. Letitia Williams, Annie Roberts, Joyce Anderson, Emma D. Hey Lydia, how you doing? Anyway, hi. Okay. Celia E. Nelson, uh, Marcy Foreman. Hi, Marcy Foreman. Uh, Let me see here. Let me open up another screen so I can see what you all are seeing. Let me see. Okay, so I got another screen going. Um, okay, I got another screen going. All right. Um, let's see. Mama Jane is here, and S is here. Thank you. All right, all right. So, Brenda Phillips, thank you so much for being here. Alicia, Brenda Gray is here, and Claudia Sims, thank you so much. Kim Harris, Cindy Jacobs, hi. Yes, happy birthday, Sharon Augustine. Happy birthday, Sharon Augustine. Is she here? Khalil Similane? I'm going to wait till later just in case she's not here. So let me know when she's here and we'll do a little dance off for her. Thank you very much for that reminder. Hey Sean. Um all right. Very good. Oh, LDSW, thank you so much for being here. Susie Q. Hi Susie Q. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? Um, but I'm not singing happy birthday. Probably not a good day for me to sing that. We'll just play some music. I usually, yeah, okay. All right. So, as you know, we lost Sinead O'Connor recently, right? And just like with so many people, we learned so much about, hey, Black Queen, did I say hi already? Yes. We learned so much about people. Like, for instance, Black Lives Matter, Sinead O'Connor, she had a great heart. She had a great heart. And she was definitely feeling the pain in this world that so many others felt. Hi, Mashar. And because of that, sometimes when people are very sensitive like that, it can cause them to have problems with addiction, or it may aggravate mental illness or something like that. So, um, yeah, and I can't help but think that um, part of her situation was, a lot of things, I'm sure, including some childhood events and such. But then she probably just felt like the world was spinning out of control and wanted to do so much about it. And like anyone else, she probably felt very helpless. And then, of course, she lost her son. He was 17 years old. So there's a lot of things. But, she seemed like a very loving, sensitive person who wasn't afraid to speak her mind. And there were a lot of people, especially young people, who I don't think was even born when she had that big hit. Um, well, anyway, I'm saying all of that to say this. Sinead O'Connor, proudly remembered in Croke Park and all on all. Yeah, Croke Park on all. Is that the name of it? Ireland Sunday, rest in peace. I love this. I love to know that she's getting her flowers. Um, I'm pretty sure that it was a very emotional moment when they played the song, and they didn't just show her face, they actually played Nothing Can Compare. And anyway, that had to be very touching. So it was a chance for some of her fans that were grieving to publicly grieve with other people. So love, love, love that. Now, as you know, the world is turning pink with Barbie. I'm sure you recognize the couple on the right, but on the left you have um, Malara. Oh wait, let me see. I can't see that up there at the top. Yes, Malala Rousseff. Um, and of course, she is one of the most famous women in the world. She won the Nobel Peace Prize. And what I love about her story is that even though there was an attempt to delete her from some very fanatically religious, misguided people, they tried to delete her. A life altering injury. And all because she was going to an all girls school and she wanted a proper education. And some people just could not stand that. So they went to the school and, there was an act of violence, but somehow she survived against the odds. And they, sent her to the West where she can get some good medical treatment. And of course, from there, she's gotten a fine education. And I'm telling you, my heart, I'm really getting emotional thinking about this, but my heart goes out to her for wanting to learn and to have a fine education, a way that she could probably help her family, the way that she could have a successful family of her own. And this guy that she's married to, he's a cricket player. And he designed, I'm so sorry, I don't remember his name, but he designed a line of clothing for cricket. He wanted to make something that was practical, comfortable, elegant, and all of those things. And they seem to have an amazing love story. They seem to love each other in ways that I would say she really deserves. So I really admire her, and my heart goes out to her for what she's been through. But thank goodness she's been able to overcome, and because of that, there are so many young girls who may be in a similar position, or believe it or not, even worse, because there's some people in this world that don't believe in educating women. But if you uplift a woman, you uplift the entire family, the entire community. The more you uplift women, the more you can uplift the community. But trying to keep them in the dark ages and such serves no useful purpose, none whatsoever. It only inhibits them from earning a living if she finds herself widowed or single or whatever. So it's really too bad that there's still people who believe that women shouldn't be educated. But I really admire her. I really, really admire her. She's such a strong person. Let me see. Oh, really? In Sinbad's video? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Let me take a look at some of your comments before I continue. Uh, oh, really? Oh, really? Isn't that what the Queen said when Harry had her make that video with Barack and Michelle Obama? Oh, really? Hey, VS. Okay. Kim Harris is here. I think I said hi already. Okay, I'm scrolling through. Let me see. All right, all right, very good. Thank you so much. But yeah, I love the Obama Barbie dolls. Very cool. All right. And then let's do this one then. And of course, I believe I showed you guys something similar to this the other day, but yet here's another one, and I love this. I love this one. Um, yeah, I like this one too. I love all of them. I think it's really cool. Okay, and let's see. Oh, I'm gonna put VS Speaks Royally at the top of the chat. If you have not subscribed, please do. Again, if you have not subscribed, please do. VS usually comes on earlier in the day, and sometimes when you're up early and you're looking for a Sussex friendly space, VS usually is the first of most of the squaddies I know to come on live. So you have something for your breakfast or for your commute, a Sussex friendly space. So check it out. Oh, you love the Obama Barbie doll? Oh, yeah, me too. Let's see here. Obama Barbie dolls really resemble the couple. I'd say so. I'd say so. I love that. Michelle is giving me that Get Christy Love, right? Get Christy Love. Am I showing my age? Remember Get Christy Love? You under arrest, sugar. You under arrest, sugar. I looked into the real life story about what happened to her. Such a beautiful girl, the one that played Christy Loves. What was her name? Denise Graves or something like that? Anyway, she died way too young. The actress that played Get Christy Love, which is a shame because I love that series, but it was like I think she got very religious and decided that she didn't want to act anymore. And if I'm not confusing her with someone else, I believe she decided to take care of her mother, and she pretty much lived in obscurity after that. And Teresa Graves, is it Teresa Graves? Yeah, thank you so much, Pam Porter. Yeah, she lived in obscurity after that and then died way too young, and tragically and way too young. So, Yellow Rose Tea, happy Sunday to you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sitting up here having flashbacks, talking about the past and not enough of the future, I suppose. Flashbacks of the times we shared. Some made us laugh, and some made us sad. We used to break up to make up all the fun that came from those love games. You know, I get triggered when I say certain words, and whenever I say flashbacks, I go right into that song. So you have to forgive me. Uh, did I just say forgive me? Does that trigger anything? No, I don't think so. Okay, I got that out my system. And that one, oh, and I found the new Barbie and Ken Prince and Princess of Wales dolls. And of course, they are puppets. Of course, they're puppets, right? Anyway, I think the likeness is uncanny rather. A wonderful likeness. I suppose they hired one of the best sculptors, artists, toy makers, everyone that they can find. The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. They really captured that kind of lost look on Kate and that rather aged. Well, actually, they both have aged, haven't they? But yeah, I think they've done a great job. And look at how large Kate's hands are. Like I said, they have really. Actually, you guys, full disclosure, these are not new. These have been around for a while. But yeah, they 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 still have captured them. They have embodied the spirit of those two. Now, on to something serious. Television had my full focus for the past 10 years. Now I'm getting back to my first love. I got some good ones coming your way. You just wait. Well, Tyler Perry set first movie Black, White, and Blue under his um, four pick pack at Amazon Studios. So, as you know, Lilibet Diana's godfather, billionaire godfather, her billionaire godfather, he has a deal with Amazon Pictures. And because of that, he has promised, he signed on to make four movies for them, or is it series? Movies. So it is what he loves the most. He has done a lot of television. And of course, I will admit there was a time when I was not the biggest fan of some of his work, but I have come full circle. I realized that it's a, as Oprah said when he was on her show that time, it's another way of telling the story. It's another way of telling the story. So even though I enjoyed it, I thought it was a little bit different than what I was used to. But now I must tell you that, and I'm going to be very honest, I am a huge fan of his, even without him being Lily Diana's grandfather, godfather, even without his relationship with the Sussexes. I um, I really enjoyed the plays. That was the first time I had ever seen anything Tyler Perry, and he has honed his skills, and and I have to say too, I think that there were probably a lot of roadblocks anytime there is a incursion into certain spaces. Black people cannot really have access to the best of certain things. Those are kind of set aside for multinational corporations. You have trouble distributing films and such. It's a lot of things that can go wrong when you don't look like everyone else in your field. So I have been praying for Tyler Perry, and I hope everyone else will as well, because Tyler Perry is fighting an uphill battle and he's winning. That's the thing, is that he's winning, but the industry is not very kind to the outsider. I'll just say the outsider, or I'll just say it like it is: Black people. The industry is not very kind, and when you're on the other side of the camera, they tend to throw a lot of roadblocks in your way. So he needs all the. Speaking of the prayers, there is the official moderator. I'm sorry, not moderator, but the official chaplain of Royal Sussex. Hello, Jacqueline Squash. Thank you so much for being here. Good evening, Baron, moderators, Squatty family. God is God all. Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, our official chaplain. In case you guys didn't know, Royal Sussex, I feel very blessed because we do have an official chaplain on this channel. Also, you guys, speaking of feeling blessed and all things godly, the lady Sussex, I am so worried about her, and I hope she's okay. If you guys have heard anything from her, please let me know, because it is Sunday, and suddenly my Sundays feel rather empty if the lady Sussex is not on. Um, so that's part of my Sunday morning thing is I wake up. Okay, Sunday afternoon, y'all know I usually sleep in. I wake up and I'm looking for the lady Sussex and George and Charles, right? And she hasn't been on. So if you guys hear anything, please let me know. Let me see. LDSW. Okay, I was trying to click on that. I remember the date because it was the year my first grandchild was born, and I had fractured my ankle, was on crutches for that show. Oh, you went to a Tyler Perry show? Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. I've been following Tyler Perry for years. My husband and I first went to his Medea stage show in 1989. Wow. Wow, that long ago. I didn't realize that they had shows that long ago. That is amazing. You have been there. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. So he must have been very young when he was doing those plays. That is outstanding. YM Droid says, I still can't get into the Wigs and his production, but tremendous respect for all that Tyler Perry has accomplished and his generosity for looking out for elders, and also in some cases, elders whose careers definitely were not going, well. He put a lot of people to work, black, white, it didn't matter. I remember he had Rue McClanahan on in one of his movies, was it? So yeah, this man is creating income for people. He's creating generational wealth for people. That must be quite fulfilling to wake up every day with that kind of responsibility. It has to be very fulfilling, and for me, it would be frightening. But when you are a spiritual person and you live your life the right way, the best way that you know, then I guess that would give you the strength to do those things, to give you enough guidance and determination to walk in his shoes. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, Lauren, are you here? Is Lauren Brown here? Yes, official Lauren Brown. Okay, I'm going to change the top of the chat. Yet another Sussex friendly space. You guys are always looking for a Sussex friendly space. I know sometimes I'm looking for something to listen to while I'm washing dishes or doing other things. And sometimes there's nothing. So if you've been in that position, again, there's always a Sussex friendly space if you just know where to find them. So, again, there's another link that you can click on for a Sussex friendly space. All right, and I'm going to continue with this. So, Variety says Tyler Perry inks four-picture deal with Amazon Studios. Tyler Perry is taking his talents to Amazon Studio Entertaining for entertaining a four-picture deal. I'm sorry, entering a four-picture deal with the studio. I'm excited and grateful to start working with Amazon Studios to bring movies to Prime Video, Perry said in a statement announcing the deal. Jennifer Salk and the entire team have welcomed me with open arms. I'm looking forward to continuing telling unique stories and bringing my next project to the global audience that they reach. Under the new pact, Perry will write, direct, and produce four new movies for release on Prime Video, which reaches more than 240 countries and territories worldwide. Did you guys hear that? 240 countries and territories worldwide. Who would have thought, huh? Among Perry's movies currently available on the service are Daddy's Little Girl, Tyler Perry's Medea, Big Happy Family, Four Colored Girls, Tyler Perry's A Medea Christmas, and Tyler Perry's Singles Mom Club. So that's just part of the article. You guys, if you want to read the complete article, you have to go to Variety. Or I'll continue part of it right here. Tyler Perry is undeniably one of the most prolific creators of our time, add, added Amazon Studios head Jennifer Salk. He is a true multi hyphenate um, who has defined his own incredible brand of storytelling and inspired people all over the world with his story. I mean, with his series, rather, and films. We are excited to collaborate with Tyler and his teams to bring even more of his fantastic signature films to our global audience. News of the deal comes amid a surge of recent successes for the billionaire media mogul. In 2021, Perry was honored with the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award at the Academy Awards and presented the Governor's Award at the 2020 Primetime Emmy Awards. Outstanding. I love it. I love it. And well deserved. And I'm wishing him even greater success. And that's what I mean. You know, when you uplift yourself, you can uplift your community, and that's exactly what he's doing. Let me see. Really, Myra Myrna Roberts? I didn't realize that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow, you've watched it about 50 times? That is great. Thank you. I did not realize it was that good. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe I will soon. And there's Tyler Perry with his star on the Walk of Fame. Again, Tyler Perry receiving a star on the Walk of Fame. I'm so happy for him. Uh, and Fu says, I would like to share an important piece of information with all Sussex squatties. On Pure Podcast, one of her tweets were, who was the first person to have founded Sussex Squatties? Well, I thought it was Terrell who coined the phrase Sussex Squad. I thought, oh, someone else, let me see, absolute. Oh, all right. I see what you said, Tyler. I thought you said Terrell. Yeah, I thought it was Terrell, Terrellism. I thought he was the first one who said Sussex Squad. Um, Marshall says no, Tina and Michelle. Okay. Okay. Well, I would say either or is true. But most of you all are leaning toward Tina and Michelle. So, nope. Hannah says no, Terrell. Honestly, to me, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Tina and Michelle, it just sounds like something that Terrell would have said. I'm just saying, it sounds like Terrell to me. So it may have been Tina and Michelle, but and it's kind of hard for most of us to know because Tina and Michelle was in the fight way earlier than most, and so was Terrell. So I'm gonna go with Terrell. Brenda Gray believes it was Terrell originally. Okay, and you know what, you guys, I don't think, I don't think we'll be able to know for sure because there's a lot of things that are repeated that may have started someplace else, and you just can't know for sure. But I'm going to go with Terrell. I think it just, only with the evidence, I think it sounds like Terrell because Terrell says it all the time. And I watch Tina and Michelle every Sunday once I found them. And I don't recall them using the term Sussex Squad as often as Terrell. So I'm going to go with Terrell. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Terrell. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We're here. We're a community, and we're doing great things. Um, in because we're, well, should I say, we're inspired to do great things because of the Sussexes, especially with the fundraising, as well as the other ways that we reach out for each other. And, we educate each other, we learn from each other, all of those things. So it really doesn't matter. But 100% comments on the podcast voted for Terrell. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, that's what I think. And honestly, I don't know where it came from first. I don't know, but I'm just saying to me, it sounds like Terrell. Lydia Washington says, my Duke and I were in the early days as well as Meganpedia. My Duke and I was the three ladies at the start. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that. I remember, do I remember? I don't. I don't. Actually, I don't think I recall my Duke and I with the three ladies. But interesting, interesting. Was Anita? Let's see. Lydia was. Oh, okay. That's not for me. All right. But most of you guys are saying Terrell. I'm just saying it sounds Terrell to me. It really sounds like something Terrell would say, and he's the one that I heard say it the most. So, um, well, either way, thank goodness we have the community. So, uh, okay, I'm gonna go on to something else. I think I'm gonna go on to something else. Okay, let me move that. Put that away. I think I got too much stuff open. All right, all right. Let me look for one thing here. Hopefully, I have it. And I don't think I do. Oh my goodness. All right, all right. Not important though. Not that important. Okay. Uh, okay. So I'll take that away, and mm, I've been wondering that too, but I don't know. Yes, Tina and Michelle podcast Sussex. Yes, was Tina and Michelle podcast Sussex Squad? Yes, they were. Yes, they're like old school. They were. They launched 1,000 channels. I promise you. All right. Oh, really? Maya Roberts says Tyler Perry has no face wrinkles yet. He can start a skincare business. All right. Let me see. And next. So, why has Britain become so poor? Even Eastern Europe is catching up with our sluggish GDP. Our politicians have been slow to act, but economists say there's still reason for hope. Okay. So, um, I was thinking about this. Church Nellie said the other day, Baron, you seem to be more concerned about it than a lot of people in Britain. And I realized something. I love the UK. I have been an Anglophile most of my life, ever since I saw the movie To Sir with Love, ever since I watched James Bond. I am a big Anglophile. Now, in spite of that, I was just kind of neutral about the royal family, but I loved Princess Diana. I love the Duchess of Sussex, right? But I was kind of neutral about the royal family. It did not elude me that there didn't seem to be a useful purpose for them. I thought it was something that was strictly ceremonial. I had no idea that it cost the people of the UK more to maintain the royal family than some militaries in this world will spend. Okay, so during 1991, during the depths of the post communist recession, Poles were poorer than citizens of Suriname and Gabon. Was it Gabon? Gabon? 30 years later, Poland has grown so rapidly that by the end of this decade, Poles may earn more than Britons. I repeat, the people in Poland may earn more than the people in Great Britain. Poland is a remarkable success story, but is not alone in catching up with Britain. South Korea, Slovenia, and are both set to overtake us in terms of GDP per capita too soon. Too, as early as next year. On the other side of the Atlantic, Americans earn so much more than us that collectively they could stop working in late September and still earn more than Britons continuing to work for the rest of the year. Meaning that, okay, if you didn't catch that, that means that whatever you were planning to earn as an American, if you stop working in September, you would still have made more per capita than the average person in Britain. That is outrageous, but let me continue. Productivity, how much we produce each hour we work has increased by just 5% in Britain over the 15 years since the start of 2008. That is about 0.3% per year. 2% is considered to be normal. If we had managed to recover to our pre crisis growth trend, productivity and wages could be 20% higher today, according to Stain Westlake, executive chair of the Economic and Social Research Council. Britain would be a much richer place. Other Western European countries that have struggled started from a higher level at $69 or 53 pounds per hour. French and German productivity is closer to that of the United States at $74 per hour than it is to Britain's $54. They're doing this in dollars, by the way, not pounds. America's economy has also proved more robust to face in the face of inflation. U.S. consumer prices rose by 2.9% over the past 12 months, compared to 7.9% in Britain. If the UK was a state, it would be the poorest in the country. Mississippi wages with Californian housing prices. How then did we get so poor? And what can we do to fix things? Now, this is coming from, oh my goodness, I think it was the Times. Yeah, the Times Sunday. This is from the Times Sunday. This is not an American paper. This is the Times. And it is alarming, the statistics that they shared. So, as we know, Mississippi is the poorest state of the Union, I believe. And because of that, Mississippi does not contribute to the Treasury more than it takes from the Treasury. So, Mississippi, and not only Mississippi, but there's a few states that are subsidized by the rest of the country. The big economic engines are mostly, if not all, blue states, just so that you know, except for maybe Florida. Florida is a pretty wealthy state. But yeah, and so I do care about what happens in Britain. I do, and I care about the British people, in spite of where things are with the Sussexes. That doesn't mean anything. It's a country that I have followed for quite some time, and I think it's really too bad. And I'm also outraged by the fact that they are so abusive to the Sussexes, and yet they ignore the elephant in the room, and that is what's happening with the economy, the shortage of housing, and the lack of decent wages. But yet they always got something to say about the Sussexes. If GB News really is the news channel of the people, then why don't they talk about this? Why don't they have round the clock coverage to force the hands of the government to secure a better economy for the people, an economy that works for the people? But instead, they will continue to go after the Sussexes. That seems to be the bulk of the news, only interrupted by the Queen dying. And even with that, they made it about the Sussexes. Diane Hawkins says, I hear UK is only a few steps ahead of Haiti so far as the economy goes. A source made up just like the Unroyals do. Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Marshall says Brits get rid of that freeloading Unroyal family and no trade deal with the US. Yeah. Okay. Uh, And let me see, what else do we have here? And Fu says Britain became poor because of all of his wickedness and all of the natives who became enslaved by Brits' sheer greed. And karma comes around, brainwashed into singing Rule Britannia is a song. Rule the way, Britannia rules the way. Okay, thank you. 14 months membership? Who is this with 14 months? Iris Demonia. Thank you for the 14 months. That is because their name makes money. Yeah, of course. The Sussex name makes money. But you guys, the UK is still one of the wealthiest nations in the world. But the working class, the poor people, are being hit really hard. It's just that their economy is not performing well, but there is still one of the wealthiest nations in the world. It's in the top what seven, top five, seven. So poor by certain standards, but not destitute. So just so that there's no confusion, the UK is still a very wealthy country, but for the actual working class people, it is is horrible right now. So, but yeah, I do care about what happens to people everywhere, and I only have been paying attention to this stuff because it is to counter the um, the narrative about the Sussexes. In other words, while you're talking about them, you're ignoring that is the point. While you're talking about them, you're ignoring that. And of course, the people that gets hurt are always the poorest among us. Let me see. GB is Spock's with a British accent. The point is to maintain the status quo with distraction and pushing faux outrage. Well put, Pam Porter. You get a bell for that. Well put. Thank you so much for that. So, oh well. Um. Anyway, you know what, guys? I may have my feelings about the rest of the royal family, and I may feel a certain way about the lying Tories and their policies, but um, I have solidarity with the people. I always have solidarity with the people, even those that may be misguided and don't know what they're talking about with the Sussexes. Um, I'm still in solidarity with them. Yeah, the car industry, that is the big thing that's been lost with the UK, is that they don't make cars like they used to, and any economy like Germany, they make cars. Japan, Korea, all of them were able to uplift themselves after World War II by getting into the automobile manufacturing. But in the UK, while others are ratcheting up car manufacturing, the UK is actually slipping. That is a problem. So, anyway, I'm not going to do a lengthy lecture about that, but again, this is what they ignore so that they can talk about the Sussexes. They're using the Sussexes as a scapegoat, not only for the royal family, but somehow they're supposed to be the problem for the economy. At least you would think so. YM Droid says also ignoring a disgusting royal is still on the dole. Oh, are you talking about Andrew, the sick old man? Are you speaking of the sick old man? I think we should. Thank you for that, YM Droid. me see. Oh Lord, I'm afraid, but here goes. Shutter Island is poor because their morals are in the gutter. Always exempt our UK squatties. Absolutely, that isle doesn't deserve our empathy. Yeah, yeah, it's the government policies. I don't blame anybody who's been misled or brainwashed, and that's the same way I feel about a lot of Americans that thought that Trump was a good idea. When you're inundated with the media brainwashing people, literally brainwashing, you guys know the media brainwashed a lot of people into supporting Trump. Do you want World War III? What about her emails and all that stuff? They did a job, and I'm sure that a lot of the people that, even though I'm always so hard on the MAGA people, I'm sure that most of them, want the same thing every day that any of us do. But when you trust the media, and a lot of people trusted the media and still do, when you see it in print, it seems to be legitimate. When you hear it on broadcast news, then it must be true. And of course, if your neighbors are in the amen section or the echo chamber, well, I mean, come on. I don't think that people, that at least most of them, I don't think most people knew the difference, and that's how we got stuck with Trump. Yeah. And and his relationship with the Russians, just like Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage, what they all have in common is their Russian connection. They all have Russia in common. I'm going to tell you something too. There's a lot of American politicians, mostly Republicans, that were making those trips to Russia, and they said that some of them have been compromised because of surveillance allegedly happening while they were in Russia, and that they used what they may have gathered, the dossiers that they have on American politicians, they may have used that against them to vote certain ways. But yeah, I mean, we had a president that loved Putin more than he respected anybody else. That was strange. And Fu Baron, I really look forward to your informative and at times funny podcast. And your loyalty to the squad is commendable. Hooray to you, dear Baron. Well, thank you, Anne Fu. You got a bell for that. I really appreciate that. But, you guys, I promise you, I have worked through a lot of things that troubled me before this space was available. And you guys helped me through a lot. You really do. Okay. Let me do this one. So, to finish with that article, which if you want to see it, check out the Times and the Sunday Times. Well, actually, it was the Sunday Times, the London Times, that is, the Sunday Times. Poland could surpass the United Kingdom's GDP per capita by 2030 based on Labour's projection. As you can see, there it is right there. The black line is the UK. At the top is Germany, and at the bottom, that is Poland surging to take the place of the United Kingdom. And then on the right side, despite our image of France as a land of 2-hour lunch breaks and high unemployment, it builds 400,000 homes a year to our 250,000 at lower prices and have more affordable childcare. Now, this is comparing France to the UK. They build 400,000 homes in France compared to 250,000 in the UK at a lower price, and childcare is more affordable. And then at the bottom, the last one is how Britain lags behind on house building. And you guys have heard me say this many times. I don't care where you are, whether it's the US, the UK, or wherever, there is a shortage of decent, affordable housing. A shortage. And if governments, and that includes the United States, if governments really want to help people build decent, affordable housing, gives people something to work for, because there's a lot of people that work every day and they're working these two and three jobs, and they will never own a home at the rate we're going. Give them something to work for. Make it possible for one income to raise an entire family. We got to get back to that. So, here, how Britain lags behind on house building. Rates are dwindling across Europe, but the UK is particularly bad. Ireland, if I understand this right, Ireland builds the most, followed by Finland, Austria, the Netherlands, France, Norway, Switzerland, Belgium, Germany, Denmark, and then second to last, the UK and Sweden. That's very sad. New houses built since the 1980s as a percentage of total stock is not meeting demand. Thank you so much, official Lauren Brown. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, and then lastly, this is what's not helping. Never was so much owed by so many to too few, which means, of course, you have the NHS, which is spiraling downward while they're having state dinners. There's one that the Queen held. I just don't know how this lavish lifestyle helps anybody. Royalty, a strange faith based superstition that one has the birthright to rule over nations of people, own all the land they dwell upon, and steal their earnings under the guise of taxation. Yeah. And sadly, here in the United States, we have these multinational conglomerates. We have these big companies that lobby in Washington so that every law that is made go their way, and that way they don't have to pay tax. They don't have to have their companies based in the United States in some cases, and all of those things is so much that is going wrong with that that really hurts the consumer, that hurts the working class people, that hurts you and I. So I hope they can work these things out, because I really worry that it won't be Russia that causes the decline of Western civilization. It's going to be our own government and their greed, our own wealthy and their greed, that is going to cause Western society to collapse. And it could happen. It could happen. So you have to call them out and hold them um, to their promises, because otherwise, it's not a good thing. It's not good for the UK, the US, Canada, any place. It's really not good. The greed that is not just corruption. There's always going to be corruption, but the greed itself is what's making things so dire. And so, if you're wondering, and I shared this graph before, if you're wondering why don't the media do something about it? Well, I'm surprised at that article from the Times of London. I'm very surprised, because the socioeconomic background of journalists, higher socioeconomic background, well, 84% of the journalists and reporters and 73% of the editors, they come from the good old boys club, compared to the lower and middle socioeconomic backgrounds. And this was something that was shared by Basit Mahmood. When a narrow section of society dominates our media landscape, it has an adverse effect on our democracy as well as our news values, which stories are told, how they are told, and what's deemed newsworthy and what isn't. I saw the damaging effects this had on my own country. That's why I said it's not so far removed from us. Now, I'm guessing Mahmoud may be from Pakistan or from Saudi Arabia. I don't know. But wherever he's from, he said that he's seen this happen in his own country. It's not so far removed from us if we're not vigilant, if we don't vote, and if we don't call these people out. So instead of us just shaking our heads like, oh, poor Britain, poor all of us if we don't change things. Poor all of us. Okay, so I'm going to change gears. Let me get a break beat. Let me get a break beat. Okay, so breakbeat accomplished. Harry and Meghan haters, time to face facts. You are being played. For years, the right wing tabloids have poured false poison and vitriol over anyone who dares challenge them. Now the Sussexes are fighting back. And this is Yorkshire Byline. Now, I don't know if that's the same as Byline Investigates, Byline Times, but it is or it isn't. I still like the article. And it says here, no one likes to think or our conviction, or I'm sorry, one more time. No one likes to think our convictions are manipulated by what we read and see in our news and social media, yet they are. And for Harry and Meghan, that manipulation has led to an unprecedented scale of bullying and abuse. All of that is correct. And anybody who believes that they have independent thought and you are not affected by what you take in, you're stupid. We are all affected. I'm affected. You're affected. All of us are affected. And whether it's in a big way or a small way, as they say, you are known by the company you keep, and you will be affected by what you are taking in. That feeling of dread first thing in the morning, that feeling of anxiety or anguish after you watch the evening news, all of that affects us, which is why it's important to purge yourself of some of these things because it has an effect on your psyche. It changes your conversation. We are all subject to this. Bullying and abuse is one of the parts of the story, and then tabloid intimidation. Besides the fact that hate sells, why would the tabloids want to destroy Meghan and Harry? And then another part of the article, manipulation and manufactured hate to make money. And then it went down to the Kate versus Meghan part of things. One can do no wrong, the other no right. And then the last part of the article was enforce reverence and respect the documentary. I'm sorry, documentary was the last one. So, what I'm thinking about doing, you guys, I may make a video based on this article because it's a good article. And I'm putting the title up here. So, if you want to go search it out yourself, Harry and Meghan haters, time to face facts. You're being played. That is in the Yorkshire Byline. So, I'm going to do a video probably in the next couple of days. But if you can't wait for that, I suggest you go and seek this article out yourself so that you can pick up what they're putting down. But yeah, we have all been affected, and I have convinced a few people in my life to stay away from the political news here in the United States. You have to purge yourself because they have been stringing us along. As much as I love Rachel Maddow, I had to step away because it was endless. And she does good work. She does good work. And I have so much respect for her. But even she cannot fight the fight by herself. She's just one person. I mean, together we can be formidable. Look at the Sussex squad. But whether it's the Sussex squad, whether it's the tabloid news, whatever it is that is pulling you down, you have to take a step away from it for your own sanity. When it builds up too much, take care of yourself. We'll be here, but take care of yourself because if you're not able to help yourself, you won't be of any help to anyone, right? Lydia says they have really built a whole nasty narrative around them. Some of the crazy comments will make you shed tears. Just plain lies. Absolutely, Lydia. Thank you so much for that. And Monte Cristo says, not Crisco, Monte Cristo. Crisco is oil. MLK called this when he spoke of the devastating impact of racism on the South. Southern states in the United States still backwards last UKKK put themselves in this position with Brexit racism. Yeah, I mean, Brexit is predicated on racism and the othering and so on and so forth. And like I said to a few people asking about the immigrants coming to the United States, are you the one that's going to operate the sniper's nest at the border? Are you the one that are going to, I don't know, beat or push people away as they try to cross the border? Are you going to be the one to do that? Do you want your sons or daughters to go to the border and use bloodshed to prevent people from coming here? I mean, who's going to make that choice? Who's going to make that choice? And so the people are here now. It's a fact. You can either show them hospitality or you can just be angry. But we all have to remember how other people got here. Now, in my case, most of my ancestors were forcefully brought here, but I'm here now, and that's a fact. And then some people came over through Ellis Island, but they're here now, and that's a fact. And every time somebody has come here, it's always been a problem. But you know what? It's just a fact. So they're here now. And I don't have any more ownership of this country than someone who just crossed the border. So that's how I feel about it. Oh, thank you so much. Lydia has the link right here. I'm going to put it at the top of the chat for that article that I just shared with you. So let me see, replace pin message. There we go. It's at the top of the chat. So you guys go ahead and grab that whenever you like, and you can dig into that article. Hopefully you'll find most of it agreeable. Lisha says whites in the USA will be a minority soon. By the year 2050 or sooner, the majority white population will soon be a minority, which is why people are so desperate. And this is why people all over Europe are so desperate, is because at some point, the power dynamic is going to shift because of the numbers, and like I said, that's just the fact. The socioeconomic, racial makeup of the land is going to change, and there's really no stopping that. It's just a matter of time. The ancestors of those who conquered the world will soon be living right next door to some of the people whose ancestors were conquered. And what did I say? That's just a fact. Okay, so another topic that I'm going to hop on to right here. All right, so where's Edward? Where's Edward? Well, you guys, I'm wondering, where is Edward? Where's Edwina? Um, the last time we saw Edward, he was looking a little scrappy and scrawny. But Poe is a chicken wing. I mean, the Poe man has become very gaunt. Now, there are some people who have speculated that he may be ill. And of course, our hearts go out to him if that's the case. But then we also noticed that one of the necklaces that Sophie was wearing with the initials of her family, suddenly the letter E was missing. Only the other two were represented. And that seems to coincide with things. However, we have no evidence one way or the other. Um, Thank you so much. Sussex Love says, I believe the barricade the Texas governor put up his barbaric, oh, is barbaric. Um, However, there are many immigrants here. Most of them came legally. I think that they can go back on a bus and come back legally. Okay, thank you so much for that. And that is something that we have to remember is that there's a lot of people who came here legally, and unfortunately they may be assaulted or or you know what I mean, they can be confused with people who got here by other means, and they might find life difficult for them because of prejudice. So that's why I don't like the idea of othering anybody, because innocent people get caught up in that nonsense. So, okay. So, anyway, thank you so much for your comment, by the way. Where is Ford Fiesta's husband? We don't know. We rarely see him. She seems to be everywhere, and he seems to do very little and doesn't appear very much. Now, some people have said that between the two of them, that their relationship may have reached this expiration date, and that because she is a duchess and a working royal, well, there's no way that the royal family is going to let her walk away if she doesn't want to, because, well, they need her. They need her with that slimmed down monarchy. So it's very important to remember that Sophie is a great value for money. She has heated seat, sync. Um, you could sync your phone to her. She has Sirius XM and a backup. She offers value for money, you guys. She offers value for money. So, um, but that's not exactly what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to draw your attention to is her boobs about to jump out of that top or what? Now, the person who posted this picture said, if that was the Duchess of Sussex, we'd never hear the end of it. We would never hear the end of it. So, how in the world is she getting away with this? How is this possible? She is literally spilling out of that dress or whatever she has on. She is literally spilling out of it. And yet, nothing has been said. There has been no criticism about it. So, as some of you all have been saying, the Ford Fiesta has been upgraded to the Ford Escape. Speaking of Escape, did I tell you that it looks like her bosoms are about to fly out of that dress? She literally is a Ford Escape. Fiesta does not even cover it. Matter of fact, it doesn't look like much is covering her. So you're right, Lauren. It would be splashed, Megan, all over the tabs. Yeah, they would have. Let's see. Obi Imu, yes, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah. Obviously, Ford Fiesta comes with a jack because it looks like something's holding it up. Oh, Lydia, I didn't know you talk like that. You think she's advertising, huh? Okay. Well, like I say, I'm shocked. So, but I tell you what, I hope she's careful because, as I said some time ago, Edward is giving me that Anthony Perkins energy, and I would be afraid to disappoint him, if you know what I mean. He is literally giving me that Anthony Perkins energy, and I would not want to be the one to cross him. So I'm just saying, if anybody knows how to get in touch with Ford Fiesta, please pass on my concern that, you know what I'm saying? He's got that Anthony Perkins energy. And the last time I saw someone with that energy um, take exception to the way they were treated, well, let me just say they were putting up yellow tape. So um, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wear when you leave the house. So, obviously, the queen has passed, as some of you all just said, and gone are those ridiculous jumpsuits. And now she's, being more adventurous with her fashion choices. So, um, farewell, Gumby, farewell, Crackerjack Boy, and enters the Duchess of Exposure, the Duchess of Exposure. Now, oh, wait a minute. Am I out of order here? Where is that? Oh, wait. Let me see because I got some shade coming and I don't want to miss it. I think I may be a little out of order. Yes, you know what? I am a little out of order, but let me do this, and I hope I don't screw this up. But there you go. Now, some of you all have been wondering, where did the term Ford Fiesta come from? Well, Tessa Dunlap, I believe, is the guilty party, and let me share it with you. Let me share it with you. I want you to hear it in her voice. Tessa Dunlap. I wish she was a squatty, but even though she's not, sometimes she can be rather helpful, I think. So, what say you, Tessa? What say you? Mm,
Oh, come on, Richard. That's only because the paparazzi aren't interested in trailing Sophie of Wessex around, because it doesn't sell newspapers, and you know it as well as I know it. You can't say Meghan compared to Sophie. It's not. It's like comparing a Ford Fiesta with a Lamborghini. I mean, the two, forgive me, Sophie's a good egg. And the royal family needs, good, hardworking, loyal people. But Meghan has star quality, which is why we keep talking about her, and we keep coming back to Meghan. Because let's face it, we all miss her a bit. Oh, come on, Richard. That's only because the paparazzi aren't interested in trailing Sophie of Wessex around, because it doesn't sell newspapers, and you know it as well as I know it. You can't say Meghan compared to Sophie. It's not. It's like comparing a Ford Fiesta with a Lamborghini. I mean, the two, forgive me, Sophie's a good egg. And the royal family needs, good, hardworking, loyal people. But Meghan has star quality, which is why we keep talking about her, and we keep coming back to Meghan. Because let's face it, we all miss her a bit.
Like, I curtsied as though I was like,
okay, so I believe that that's where it came from. Now, let me get back where I was before I lose my place. Okay, so I think that that is where that comes from. Now, there was another thing that Tessa Dunlap was very famous for, and you all probably remember what that one was. Oh, wait a minute. Do I even have that one? Do I have that one? Uh-oh, I may have spoke too soon. I didn't plan this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So, oh, you know what? I can't do that like that. Let me see. Okay, yes, I can. Okay.
Reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is. Right.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
So there you go. So Tessa Dunlap, I believe that she was the one who coined the phrase Ford Fiesta. Now, I used to hear Tina and Michelle talk about that, and finally somebody said, like, it's a very reliable, inexpensive car to get you from point A to point B. Okay, that made sense, but how did that come about? Well, I think it was Tessa Dunlap who started that. So thank you, Tessa. All right. So with that, you guys, let's move on here. Now, if they ever cast a movie, if there's a movie about Elon, I want him to be played by Kathy Bates. I just think Kathy Bates, she's a little quirky, and so is he. Well, she's a little quirky. He's a lot quirky. And you have to admit, the resemblance is incredible. So I think that Kathy Bates would be perfect for Elon Musk. Now, I just want you all to send out your thoughts and prayers to the bird community. Rest in pieces, Twitter. Rest in pieces. Twitter has been completely hijacked, and I'm not sure, but I do believe that Twitter has joined the Nation of Islam, because now it's just known as X. So they have thrown their colonial or scientific, whatever it is, they've rid themselves of that name, and now poor Twitter is all tweeted out, and it has become X. X marks the spot where Twitter used to be. And right here, it just goes to show what happens when you don't try to save wildlife. Twitter has slowly disappeared and has become X. So that is what has happened to Twitter. I didn't know Twitter had been around since 2006. Is that right? They've been around since 2006? Wow. I had no idea. But if this little meme is correct, they've been around for some time. Now, let's get on to Invictus. I don't have a lot to say about Invictus, but I was listening to Pedo earlier, and if you guys didn't watch Pedo earlier, Karen... I'm sorry. If you guys didn't watch Pedo earlier, Karen was on, and she spoke about her experience at the Invictus game. So I would say go back and watch Facts and 2 Cents from today, because there were stories and photos and descriptions and all kind of stuff that I've never heard before. So I found it very, very entertaining. And apropos of that, I decided to share a video with you guys. I saw it, and I'm going to share it with you. Just a little inspiring look at the preparations for Invictus. Don't you love it? I think I mixed the music too loud for that. But yeah, they were putting the I am in the river, like here. There you go. So as you can see, this is the one from The Hague, I think. And the other one, of course, that one is Dusseldorf. So there you go. Be inspired by that, will you? And of course, there's the Tessa Dunlap thing that I just shared. Like I said, it was out of order, but I did get a chance to share it with you. And of course, the old fashioned mute woman, right? The old fashioned.
Doesn't rock the boat and is a very traditional, old fashioned mute woman.
An old fashioned mute woman. That's what we love about her. Now, take a look here. I was lucky enough to meet Meghan Markle when I was the moderator for the Suits USA College Tour. She was so nice and down to earth. At BU Tweets, whatever that is, gave her that base. Oh, BU. What is BU? What school is that? Whatever school it is. BU gave her that hat. Is it Brown University? Is that Brown? Gave her the baseball cap and she threw it right on the. She threw it on. I'm sorry. Gave her that baseball cap and she threw it right on for the entire event. Congrats, Meghan and Prince Harry. So excited for. Oh, by the way, this is from 2017. So that was just after they announced their engagement. So I made sure I included the date in case I forgot to say that was from post-engagement announcement. So there you go. Boston University. Thank you so much, official Lauren Brown. Leslie F. And it said, Sema Khan, thank you very much for that. Boston University. Very cool. And just to rub it into the hate watchers, this is what's giving them fits right now. Take a look at that. These are a collage of all of the, well, not all, but some of the headlines celebrating or at least acknowledging the fact that Suits is having quite the renaissance and that there's a whole new generation of people that are falling in love with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And let me see, do I have that from yesterday, maybe? Let me see if I have that from yesterday. Oh, yeah. And also the day before. There we go. This guy right here, Hans Carl, said the show Suits is fun. The dialogue is snappy and believable for the characters, and the show is always entertaining. I usually don't like Monster of the Week or Case of the Week type shows, but this rocks. This one rocks, rather. It was originally on USA Network, but it's now on Netflix. So, like I said, there is a whole new generation of people that are getting to know the Duchess of Sussex. And because of that, it is giving the tabloid media fits because they want to dominate the airways with negativity about our Duchess. And it's not going the way they expected. So they are a little bit upset about that. So right here, Celeb Bites, Meghan Markle shows Suits breaks streaming records for nearly 4 years after series ended. And it's been like that most of the week, that they have been celebrating or at least acknowledging the fact that Suits is doing very well. So la-dee-da. La-da-dee-da-da. Okay. And where's the one that I shared? Oh, was it yesterday I shared that? Yes, there it is. There it is. Even GB News was forced to acknowledge that Suits is doing extremely well. Official Lauren Brown says, I absolutely love the fact that Meghan's acting has taken a resurgence without her even having to memorize the script. This is the height of let the universe take care of revenge for you. Thank you so much, Lauren Brown. You get a bell for that one. Thank you very much. Jose Williams says, busy morning here, arrived in time to say goodnight. Yeah, just about. Just about. I think that's accurate. VS says some are being snarky, calling it Meghan's show, trying to sow dissent between casts, not going to happen. Yeah, it's something about a residual check that seems to tamper or tamp down, should I say, any dissension, as well as the fact that Meghan is such a solid team player. She has never made that show about herself, so they know better. And take a look at the President of the United States. Yes, that's an 80-year-old man. Now I want Trump to do the same thing. Life is a beach. Life is a beach. And of course, the Bidens are enjoying their time on the beach. I think Joe Biden has taken a couple of weeks off. But of course, as you know, when you're the president of the United States, you never really have any off time. But he's going to spend a couple of weeks at the beach house. So let him enjoy himself. And would never, would never happen to white actors. Fans blast publication after it mistakenly calls Damson Idris as Idris Elba's younger brother. Could Idris Elba, younger brother Damson, be the next James Bond? Well, you guys saw that yesterday, right? You're not ready for that? You don't want to see Trump and Trump's stomach in a Speedo? So yeah, yesterday there was a mistake where they printed, or was it a mistake? That article I found out came from Caroline Graham. Caroline Graham. I didn't realize that yesterday, but oh, it explains a lot. Mail Online, a British publication, made a glaring error in its reporting, falsely reporting Idris Elba and Damson Idris are brothers due to their somewhat similar names. The context of the article was that Damson might take a role from his supposed older brother Idris, who many thought might be the next James Bond. Well, a monumental mistake, or was it? Because, well, anyway, I'll show you Carolyn Graham if you guys are not familiar with her. I'm sure a lot of you are. Idris cluelessly jumped into the next section, comment section rather, asking, wait, what just happened? Oh, Lord, let me see there. No, not that. This is what I'm looking for. Fans relieved, and let me put that back. In his lighthearted exchange, envisioning the supposed possibility of a thrilling wire snowfall crossover special starring both talented actors. This is not the first time people have thought the two might be related, according to the Snowfall rapper. Oh, so the other guy is a rapper, huh? It's so funny because the first time I met Idris Elba was at my good friend Edward. At my good friend Edward. He was doing like a little party honoring Spike Lee in London, Damson said. It was all these people there, and Idris Elba was like, hey, come over here. I walked over to him, and he's like, I know you. I know you. He always asks if you're my little brother. They always ask if you're my little brother. You're doing good. You're doing good. He continued. In reality, they only share a geographical similarity, both hailing from different parts of London. Damson is from Peckham, East London, Southeast London, and Idris is from Canning Town in East London, which are about 30 minutes apart. They both share African ancestry. And about 1.5 billion other people, I'm sure. But I digress. So right here, Damson says, oh yeah, what does it say here? It just wait, what just happened? And then yeah, so that's the Instagram from Idris. You can see right there, very small. Wait, what just happened? And then someone else says, not the Daily Mail mix-up. Well, there's Carolyn Graham. Carolyn Graham is a real daughter of Dixie. She is from the South, bless her heart. And Carolyn Graham is the one who writes for the Daily Mail that moved like next door or down the street or whatever from guess who? Thomas Markle Sr. Yes, Carolyn Graham, who is posing in front of a Confederate statue, just in case you don't understand where she's coming from. She decided to pose in front of a Confederate statue with the Confederate flag. And of course, she is cozied up with Thomas Markle Sr. Okay? You get where we're going with this? Now, Carolyn Graham had to climb up Mount Thomas Markle Sr. to get a letter. She literally climbed a mountain. I won't speculate any further than that, but she literally had to climb a mountain to get information out of Mount St. Thomas Markle. Thomas Markle, Mount St. Thomas Markle, is not a volcanic mountain. It is full of gas and all types of nasty, toxic air, but not the type of gases that would cause an eruption, at least not of a volcano. But Mount St. Thomas Markle. But I just want you guys to say, listen, I don't have any respect for her, but I respect the hustle because Sister Girl wanted to be close to him, and she obviously, allegedly took one for the team. I mean, literally took one for the team. But who knows? Maybe that's what she's into is, lighting directors or whatever. But they seem to be awfully cozy, right? I mean, look at that. Look at that. Some people will climb a mountain to get what they want, right? They will change locations. They will make a geographic change just to get what they want. And what could I say? Some people are in it to win it. So if you take a look here, William and Kate charge 15 couples £32,000 each for dinner in New York City. Cash for access questions as royal couple court U.S. super rich. Well, Carolyn Graham wrote that article back in 2014. This was before she started attacking the Sussexes with her columns. YM Droid said, please don't say Thomas Markle and Iran. Oh, man. But yeah, so like I say, she was in it to win it. So that article came from her. And there she is again, posing in front of that corroded old Confederate statue. And right here, take a look there. From Carolyn Graham, reveal the letter showing, well, like I said, she had to climb a mountain to get what she wanted. So picture Carolyn Graham climbing up Mount St. Thomas Markle to get that letter, right? She literally had to climb a mountain to get that letter. So I bet Carolyn knows when a Yeti is coming. Legs, you are so bad. Yes, that Yeti, Thomas Markle. Anyway, Meghan Markle fails to inspire Americans. Her popularity plummets in the U.S. reports, and of course, rich American folks, rich Americans fork out $1 million to see Harry and Meghan receive the same human rights award as Barack Obama at glittering gala night in New York, blasted as blatantly ludicrous. So again, that was Carolyn Graham 2014 talking about the Cambridges, and now she has nothing terrible to say about them because she has the Sussexes to pick on. See there? That's another Carolyn Graham. So if you guys are not familiar with her, now you know. That is the one who climbed Mount St. Thomas Markle to get that letter. And Miss Lindsey Graham. See, when I saw Graham, I had confused her with Lindsey Graham. Well, you know, one old belle of the South is about as good as the next. So I was like, I declare, Miss Lindsey Graham then wrote herself an article. Yes, she did, bless her bones, but it wasn't Lindsey Graham. It was Carolyn Graham. So Miss Lindsey Graham of the South Carolina Grahams will be making her debut at the Atlanta Grand Jury. Suitors are being asked to prepare for the event. So, yeah, not the same Graham. Carolyn Graham, and then there's Lindsey Graham, the Southern Belle of Carolina. South Carolina, is it? Yeah, different Grahams. I got confused. I'm just like, wait a minute, Lindsey, Miss Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, the belle of the ball. Why, she might just snatch up that hoop skirt and make a run for the old big house, Twin Oaks or Shady Pine, whatever it is. I declare, she is a bit sassy though, isn't she? Yeah, that particular Southern belle is a little sassy. The other one, probably a little desperate. And with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I went to a birthday dinner earlier for my cousin, and it was very, very nice. And I had a really good time. I was hesitant to go, but I'm so glad I did. And it was nice. And yeah, so I had fun today. I thought you guys would be pleased to know that I went out and I had fun. So it's been a great weekend celebrating his birthday. Let me see. And thank you very much. Thank you to the moderators for keeping this a safe space. Thank you, Lauren Brown, for coming by. Haven't seen you for a while. And thank you to VS Speaks Royally. And who else was here? There was another content creator, wasn't it? But yeah, thank you all so much. And happy birthday. I don't think she's here, so we won't dance off today. But let me say again, happy birthday to Sharon Augustine, was it? Happy birthday. So if you watch this later, Sharon, happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And I better not sing happy birthday, right, Lydia? I better not sing happy birthday. It might not go across too well. Let me see here. Oh, Miss Lindsay should be careful before she gets the vapors, bless her bones. Yes, I declare she might get the vapors, and that might blow her hoop skirt over her head. I declare. You, sir, are not a gentleman, as Lindsey Graham has often said. All right, so thank you, everyone. Love you guys. And of course, our last word of the day is be careful before you get the vapors. That works for me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Official Lauren Brown. Appreciate it. Good night, VS. Thank you for stopping by. Greatly appreciate it. And you guys, please pray for B10 and pray for the Lady Sussex. And of course, Jerry White is still convalescing from her surgery. And yeah, so there's life is still moving forward for the squatties in just about every way possible. And for those that are struggling, just know that we're here for you and we're always praying for you. Even when we don't know we're praying, we're praying. So, let me see here. Okay. Oh, official Lauren Brown is asking what happened with B10. Well, her sister, if let me make sure I got this right because there's been so much happening, but her sister was suffering from cancer, and her mother had, I think she had developed bleeding on the brain, was it? And her mother passed, and then I guess days later, her sister passed. Did I get that right? Yeah, I think I got that right. But yeah, it's been so much going on. And then, of course, the lady Sussex, her mom has been ill and she hasn't been on the past few Sundays or 2 Sundays to take care of her or to be with her. So, yeah, that's been going on. So, but yeah, thank you for asking though. All right. All right. And thank you so much, Marshar, for helping out with that. I appreciate it. So I'm going to cue the Ginger Avenger. And of course, I'm going to say good night to our queens, Doria and Diana. Yeah, thank you, Lauren Brown. Thank you so much. And okay. Thank you, Reba Henderson. Yes, thank you, Yellow Rose Tea. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Black Queen. Uh, thank you, Anastasia, Lydia. Was Cookies and Creams here? Oh, well. Oh, and Sean was here. Thank you, Sean. Okay. And all right. So I'm going to cue Ginger Avenger, and I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys, and good night.